What's up, makeup minions? I'm Kim Witte from Witte Artistry, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a two-part makeup. The first part was regular Elsa, and this is Elsa if her ice powers turn against herself. So please keep watching. I love you guys, and hit that subscribe button if you are new here. Let's begin! If you like me and like what I do here, it would mean the world to me if you became a sponsor on my Patreon page. Okay, we are transforming the Elsa makeup we already had done into Frostbitten Elsa. I am using rigid collodion from Kryolan to do this look. Essentially what this is, I'm not really sure what it's made of, but it's totally skin safe. You put it on your face or your skin in thin layers and then let it dry. And essentially what it does is it causes your skin to pucker and suck in, so it creates the illusion that you have like a hole or a scar or whatever, a chunk of flesh that has been altered, as you can see on my cheek. So in the case of frostbite, the tips of your nose and your cheeks is the first thing to go, because that's where the wind blows, that's where the blood vessels are more exposed to the cold air. And now that I have those holes made, I am going to be coloring it with alcohol-activated makeup. This does get a little uncomfortable near your eyes, so just be aware of that. You can use cream makeup, but I wanted the translucency of alcohol makeup. So I first put down a layer of blues and purples just to build up that dyeing tissue and the blueness that happens when you get really, really cold. So I'm using a sponge that has holes ripped out of it, so I get the texture variation, so I don't just have like a rectangle being stamped on in the makeup. Now I'm doing a layer of yellow-green, because the tissue is dyeing, and I'm planning on putting some deep purples and blacks in the center. That's where the tissue has actually completely dyed and fell off. This is a fun little tale of what happens with frostbite. But anyway, the shoulders, because they're exposed, I wanted to do some frostbite too. And frostbite tends to be very unsymmetrical, so I wanted to have variation on the face and variation on the shoulders. So I'm doing the same techniques on my shoulders that I did on my face, and with alcohol makeup, you can get away with a lot of layering. You can add a little bit of color, then add a little bit more. So it goes black in the center, red around that, a little bit of green, and then the farthest away is just like a hint of pink, where it's just more wind burned. So I did that on my shoulder, and now I'm making my face look even more gruesome. I am now creating the wound. So this is the area that the tissue has dyed. There's a portion that gets all like ucky, gucky, bloody looking. So I'm using a detail brush just to outline the edges of the indents that I created with the rigid collodion. Then after that, I am blending it in towards the center of this wound. The center of the wound in the end game will be the dark, dead tissue that's black, but around the edges it still has blood, it still looks like an injury, so that's just what I'm doing right now. I'm also going to do the same exact thing on my nose, so I'm outlining it in that bluish color and then filling in a dark red line where the blood vessels have burst, and then as it snakes towards the center of the wound, I'm blending that red out. Keep on blending. Blendy, blendy, blendy. Oh, and by the way, this makeup is activated with 99% isopropyl alcohol. Rubbing alcohol will not be sufficient enough to make this product work properly. It'll just create this miserable, fuzzy substance that kind of has the color, but the product won't work the way it's intended to. All right, add in some of that pink and greens to my chin and around my lips, and then also to my other cheek. I wanted it to look more than just windburned, especially on the cheeks, and have a little bit of asymmetry going on. On certain parts of the wound and like the really deep parts, I am adding a little bit of brown to the red, so it has the depth and sort of the coagulation of the blood. So it's just darker because it's deeper into the skin. Blending out my nose some more. And also, who's excited for Frozen 2? Like, I'm excited I got to do Elsa makeup, but I'm also excited I got to do FX, but it's been so long since the first one. I'm so excited. I love Disney movies. All right, so now with black cream makeup, I am dabbing it in the center of the wound. This is where all the dead tissue is at, so it'll be really concentrated in one spot and then sort of gray around that. So I'm putting a dab of black in the center of my nose and the center of my cheek, and then sort of blending it out a little bit. So it's gone necrotic. So the area around it is slowly dying as well, but the most pointy parts, like the high part of the cheek and the point of the nose, is what's going to die first. Then with just a brush with some alcohol, I am doing a little bit of blending and a little bit of stippling just to add a little bit of texture variation to the makeup. All right, now with that black, I'm going over my lips very, very lightly just to create the deadened lifelessness of the lips, because the lips are cold too. Now I'm going to be smearing and just kind of distressing my eye makeup, because, you know, she's upset, she's clearly in pain, she's been out in the wilderness, and around your mouth and your nose and your eyes, the snow tends to melt a little bit and kind of makes makeup run. All right, onto my shoulder. I wanted this to look kind of like a broken blister, whereas the stuff on my face has gone necrotic, but the previous stage to that is sort of this creepy looking negative space almost. So that is what I am doing. I'm creating the same shapes that are organic and nasty, blending out the red. This time I'm going in the opposite direction just to feather it into the freezing that I've created on my shoulder already. Now I'm adding purple to the shoulder to give it the more necrotic feel, and I'm going to be tapping that out so it's in the first stages of dying off, unlike the face, which is way more extreme. Although I might have just left it as a blister. I can't remember, which is bad because I just edited this. Anyway, I'm tapping some more of that purple and some more of that red, and I decided my forehead was looking way too nice. So I've roughed it up a bit, added some of the red, and created another partial wound on my forehead with some irritation around it. Add some purple around that, and like, really guys, there's no proper way to do this. It's frostbite. The only thing I can tell you is stuff that's exposed will get it first, and stuff that is more pointed and has more air accessibility is going to get frozen first. That's why fingers, toes, noses, tips of ears, and cheeks happen first. All right, now with a fluffy brush, I am taking red eyeshadow and just lightly dusting it over a large portion of my skin. This is to create the wind burn. This is, you know, before frostbite sets in. Your skin gets irritated, raw, and just all the blood pools and makes all the redness and stuff. So I'm just imitating that on my skin, and especially on my ears. So my ears are starting to become frostbitten in this look. So they're really red. They're not healthy, but they haven't died off yet. So I'm adding the dark reds and a touch of purple into them. I decided to add some more rigid collodion to my lips, just on the top, so there's a little puckered spot. But I also have liquid snot, I kid you not, so I am putting that around my eyes, around my nose, just because, you know, wetness. And I wanted to add some fake snow, especially to my eyelashes and my eyebrows, because, you know, snow gets stuck in them when you're all frostbitten. But this is really cool. I implore you to try an FX look and make sure you try to do some realism, but just, you know, get creative with it. It's organic.
Thanks so much for watching.
Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. This was too fun. I mean, it didn't start off fun, because looking at real pictures of frostbite is not something I would recommend to anyone, but just getting to mess around with a variety of colors, and then with snow and liquid snot, like, this is a pretty fun makeup. So if you like two-part makeups and you have any ideas for like creating more twisted characters, or like something if like their own powers turn against them, please let me know in the comments below. And if you're new here, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more new videos, and might as well join the family, because why not? But I love you guys, and a huge shout out to my wonderful Patreon producers. You guys are wonderful, and thank you to everyone that's just at home that likes these videos and watches them and bothers to comment. Like, you guys are so wonderful, and please stay warm. Winter can be a jerk sometimes, but I love you all, and I will see you next Saturday.